I have now been running iOS 26 for 24 hours, and this is probably the best software update I've ever received with stability, fixing bugs, and just all around quality of life improvement on your digital space of things. This has been phenomenal. I am also running the 26th OS of iPad right here off the screen, and I got macOS Tahoe 26. What are we doing, Apple? So I'm running it all, and everything is moving really smoothly. So there's my feedback on it. I'm loving it. I'm loving the customization that you can do with it, and I'm loving how it feels like a new phone while not having a new phone, thus proving software over hardware. So, okay, this is coming at the request of one of my channel members about doing a what's on my iPhone segment. So today's video is going to be a little bit different, and we're going to go right into it. I will be talking through it in live time while also screen recording right there as it's kicked off now. So we're going to kind of go over all this. There will be a segment of this what's on my iPhone that I am going to have exclusive to my channel members, where I go into more deep detail with stuff like that. So channel members will have a separate companion video to this, and you guys, everyone who's watching this is the public version. But okay, let's get right into it, starting with my home screen. Now, what I like about this is I can literally move it, and I like it's more than a parallax effect. It looks very spatial, three-dimensional, and it gives me that same whimsical feeling I had when I first had iOS 7. Now, my lock screen is very intentional in the sense that at the very top, for example, I use the weather widget because it still gives me the date. I like how the timepiece has stretched now. I appreciate the cleanliness of this liquid glass UI that we're seeing immediately. And yeah, the widgets that I use that are now on the bottom is I have stocks that I like to keep an eye on. I have the actual weather, the temperature of what it's going to be, whereas on the top it just tells me the climate, where it's sunny today. I have the weather on the bottom, and then I have my car, where its battery health is at, and then when I click on it, it'll take me to the car app, and then that's just something that Tesla does. So, and then my quick little toggles, flashlight, because flashlight, I don't use a dedicated button for it. I use the dedicated button for my ChatGPT inquiries. So I have a flashlight toggle, and I have a QR code scanner that takes place of the camera. And then when you go to my home screen, it's very, very minimal. It's very empty on purpose. Now, admittedly, I'm running this wallpaper right now that my buddy Space Mike has given me that I think he acquired somewhere else. And I was like, oh, that's pretty clean. So I'm trying it out while I'm playing with iOS 26. But typically I have photos of my family, but I always like to keep my home screen decluttered. I like to treat the home screen like I would on a Mac, where like that's my desktop and the dock is where my apps are, much like on my Mac. So I like to keep it empty. It makes me feel clear-headed. And if I have a clear headspace in my digital access point, then everything I do feels a little bit more intentional. Everything that's on the dock, these are all the apps that I use. If I open up, for example, this finance and productivity, there's no page 2. I only have these 9 apps. So every app that I need is accessible to me immediately. These are my communication apps. These are all my communication apps. Twitter is officially deleted. It's been 30 days. I no longer have Twitter. So I use Threads, I use Instagram, and I have iMessage, and for those who are on Android, they normally contact me through Facebook Messenger. Then I got my phone and my email. Common sense stuff. My entertainment, this is the stuff that I use quite often enough that it needs to be on my homepage. So YouTube is my most used app, period. But when I'm driving or when I'm hiking or in the trail or something, I'm listening to music sometimes, sometimes not. And then same thing with my Audible. I have so many books I need to go through. And I put ChatGPT in my entertainment category because I've been using it more or less to have, I'm still stress testing it. So for me, I'm doing it out of a place of fun. So entertainment, my lifestyle stuff. So the first app with the little heart, that's my son's school app thing. That's how I stay notified throughout the day with photos and updates, everything that's going on with him while he's gone. I got my Tesla app. This E thing that you see there, that's the camera system that I use for in my son's room. It notifies me temperature changes and movement and stuff like that. Got the Photos app because that's where I like to obviously capture my memories. And I'm currently testing the Preview app, brand new. So I'm testing this thing, and I don't even know if I'm going to keep it on my home page or not. But for the time being, I'm testing it, so it sits there. Really, what I do, and it's really in the productivity category here, I use my Files app for everything. Everything in my finance and productivity I use daily. I have Navy Federal as my primary bank because I'm military. I have Fidelity as my investment platform and my retirement platform. I use the Apple Wallet for virtually everything. And I use spreadsheets. For me, I like using Apple Numbers. I've been using it for over, I think, 15 years now because it came free. So I use it as a way to synchronize everything across platforms. Now Google Docs or whatever their sheets or whatever they call theirs, now they do that. I know Microsoft does that with Excel. Apple did it first and they had it the longest. And so I use that to track my whole budget, all my finances, everything. Notes I use for everything. I got my settings. I got my YouTube studio, how I communicate with everybody who's watching this video and other videos. And then Safari is my primary default web browser. So that's pretty much it. I think we've gone over everything. I will say I do use the app library to find things pretty quickly, but it's very small. And no, I don't have any hidden apps as I'm showing you right now. I don't really need to hide anything. No hidden apps. It's just there. But if we go into the settings, go to General, go to About. If you look at my applications, I have only 77 apps. And in my mind, that's also too much. I try to keep it around somewhere between 50 and 60 apps. But it is what it is. I have 77 apps. And out of 128 gigs, I only have a little over 31 gigs available. Most of that stuff is used up by the Blackmagic camera app because that does not get pushed to the iCloud. That is stored locally, and I use Blackmagic for all my YouTube stuff. So it's pretty simple stuff, right? I do have a lot of photos, I do have a lot of videos, and I got a decent amount of songs, I guess, that is not on Apple Music locally, but it's pretty boring stuff, to be honest with you. Software update. Yes, I am running the latest. Never had the betas turned on. Here it is. And that's about it. I just wrapped up the channel membership exclusive element, going over all the apps more in depth, but that's what we're working with here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very clean, minimal layout. I like it, and I can always be more minimal. I like to try to find new challenges to keep my digital clutter to a minimum and my digital mental clarity as clear as possible. So I will delete some of these apps after this, and I will find a way to always try to make the user experience for me as simple and as intuitive as possible. I turned off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and everything, and it still connects to OBS. That's annoying. I don't know why you do that, but there it is. Actually, we can stop recording or stop screen recording though. There you go. A hyper-specific video requested by a channel member. So Nora, thank you very much for the suggestion. Please, by all means, share your thoughts. Let me know. Let me know what you are doing on your phone. I know a lot of people. One thing you'll notice when it comes to my phone, the notifications. I actually manage all my notifications. I got through all my emails, so I deleted all my emails, and there's no unpending, no nothing. I hate notifications. I treat them as to-do lists, like tasks for me. So I go through all that stuff and I truly try to keep it as clean as possible because maybe, let's say, I don't know, 18 years ago, 19 years ago, it wasn't like that. I was very much a digital hoarder about things, and I didn't like it. I didn't like what it was doing to my my mental being the more I became more in my devices. So yeah, there it is. iOS 26 is really cool. I'm very much enjoying this. It's been a lot of fun just over the last 24 hours. I look forward to stress testing it a little bit more. But when it comes to what lives in the iOS 26 ecosystem, for me on my phone, there it is. Thank you for hanging out with me in this very different video. By all means, share what you got going on in the comments. I will be sure to check it out, read what you have to say, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, that ain't me. Everything's a mess. Everything's a clutter. And I mean, are you getting by? It's not, who am I to tell you what to do? This is just how I function to stay on top of things without losing sight of stuff. It's my own minimalism tick that I have about not wanting to lose track of something anymore. Because in the past, I mean, I used to have bills that went under because I wasn't tracking my bills, and like I was a mess. I was in debt. I had a lot of credit card debt. I was missing payments. Things went delinquent. Credit scores got everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And it's because I didn't have control of my digital life. That's why I am the way I am now. So it doesn't happen anymore. And once I got control of it, everything just kind of worked itself out. But all right, that's enough of that. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.